All right. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here again. It's another day. Today is the second day of our 3-day live session here on land flipping class. Today, we're going to talk about automating your land business, right? Your land machine, right? Your land profit machine. So I'm super excited. My name is Jack Bosch. If you have not attended any of the sessions so far, if you have never seen me before, I'm the co-creator of the Land Profit Generator method, along with my wife Michelle Bosch. Right, we've been doing deals since 2002. We've done over 4,000 deals, land deals. Right, we have created we catapulted this business in a matter of 2 years into 2 to 3 years into an 8-figure business. Right, we have done, as I said, over 4,000 deals. We've generated over $70,000 in monthly payments from land because we love selling our land. We're seller financing, or we love selling our land for cash, and we'll talk about that today a little bit again. And today we're going to talk about automating your land machine. So super excited to have you guys here. And today I have a different co-host that I had yesterday. Right, yesterday we had Aaron, who did a fantastic job showing some of the pitfalls that students are doing and what it takes to really scale your business. Right, we had our mastery session yesterday about how to 10x your profits. Well, today we're hitting into that same kind of groove, because in order to 10x your land business, in order to create a land business that is true mastery, in order to create a land business that produces those high six-figure, or even 7-figure business profits, you need to have automation, right? You need to have systems and automation. And we harped on that yesterday all through the session, right? That you need to make sure that you pick the right counties, right? You need to make sure that you get a good flow of data coming in, right? That you have access to the property data, right? And today we'll show you quickly where to get that data from. You also need to make sure that you have a call center taking the phone calls for you, or at least a voicemail system, that you have a system to actually capture the leads and capture and organize your system and know where each deal is on each stage and so on. You want to then be able to actually make the right offers and have a follow-up system that you don't forget about, right? You want to be able to then, when you market the property, marketing of different platforms, track what matters. We talked about, right? Track what matters, and that actually extends also into the tracking of your advertising, right? So we might talk about that today a little bit too. But first of all, I want to introduce one of our coaches again, and our resident, really almost like software expert, right? Which is Warren Davis. Hey, Warren. Welcome to the show today. Welcome to the presentation. Super glad to have you here.
Thanks so much, Jack. It's a pleasure to be here. Good to see everybody, and then be able to be on with you and share a little bit about the power of this tool we have, Investment Dominator.
All right, exactly right. So again, we're gonna talk today about all the different tools that you need to automate and to automate your land business. But then we're going to actually do a demonstration of one tool that we actually developed ourselves, and that is the Investment Dominator. But the Investment Dominator is an absolutely incredibly powerful tool, but it's just one tool out of the many that, not many, but of the several tools that you need to really catapult your business up there. So what are these systems that you need? Let's talk about it for just a second right now. So first of all, the first tool you need is, as we mentioned, you need the ability to get data, right? Now, we're going to demonstrate that in a second, because our tool, the Investment Dominator, is actually integrated with a very, very well-known data source and a very good reputation data source in the United States. And so you can literally pull your data right in from there. Number two, what you need is a place where people, when they call you back, you don't want to be the one taking all the phone calls on your phone, because you don't want to be a call center, right? You want to make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 per deal, and picking up the phone and talking to sellers is not the right use of your time, right, Warren? I mean, how many sellers do you talk to on a daily basis?
Probably on a daily, not so much on a daily basis. Probably, every few times a week, I'll talk to a seller. But I try to minimize that as much as possible because we really have, want to send them the information they need and have them make the decisions so that we can get that land under contract.
That's exactly right. So you only talk to them if you need to renegotiate, right? Mostly. So
pretty much if we need to renegotiate, or if they have questions about what our company is going to be doing and how we're working, we call and we make sure we get those questions answered and addressed. But mostly it's for if they want to negotiate the amount we want to pay for their land.
Exactly right. So again, you got to have those. You got to have your deals in front of your fingertips so that you can. So with all the detailed research, and not just in a stack of paper or something like that you can look at, but now you want to have it in an electronic format. You want to have it ready for you, and then so that you can look at those things. So have it ready for you at your fingertips from wherever you are, because you might be again. Listen, guys, we're not building a business that has you tied to your location. You're building a business that means freedom. Who wants a business that means freedom? Give me a heck yes right now. Give it in the chat box. Put in heck yes right now if you want a business that truly means freedom. Because here's the thing. I always compare this, like, say, to the local Subway franchise store. The local Subway franchise store costs about $400,000 to set up, between franchise fee, the lease, the equipment, the kitchen, all the kind of stuff in there. So now you pay $400,000, like with a big fat bank loan, and your life savings go into that thing. Perhaps $100,000 of your own money goes into it, and then $300,000 loan on there. And then what happens? If you have a Subway franchise store, do you have freedom? No, you don't have freedom, because now what happens? You got to hire a bunch of people. You got to have the morning shift, the evening shift, the weekend shift, right? You have like probably 6 to 8 people hired in that role. You got to pay them. You got to coordinate them. You got to schedule them. You got to do accounting. You got to do bookkeeping. You got to order the food. You got to open the store. You got to close the store. By the way, can you go on vacation? Down the road, perhaps, if you have somebody that is really trustworthy that opens the store for you and orders the stuff for you. But usually like 5 days on vacation, then you got to be back, because probably somebody screwed something up while you're gone. So no, you can't go anywhere. You own that franchise store. And by the way, the average American Subway franchise owner owns, after all this kind of work, working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, makes $60,000 a year. Heck, we have students that have done, just last month, we have students that have done $100,000 plus in one profit deal, right? So what would you rather do? Spend 400 grand and be tied to an office, be tied to a store, be tied to a location? Or if you're fix and flipper, like, I'm a fix and flipper. Now, when you're a fix and flipper, guess who needs to supervise the construction crew? Guess who needs to deal with the contractors and the repairs and make sure there's no theft and lock the place and deal with lenders and with the theft and with squatters and all this kind of stuff? You need to do that. Unless you built it up to a scale of 100 rehabs or so a year, that you have a team in place and a supervisor and everything. But then you have the same problem. Then you have a business that has 50 people working for you, and you're dealing with HR issues, and you're dealing with contractors going bad and with theft and all this kind of stuff. Who wants that? Instead, you can make the same or more money flipping land in your underwear from at home or from anywhere you want to travel. Warren, you just went traveling. You just took some time off and went somewhere, right?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. We were just up in Sedona, and we spent a week up there, and we were able just to sit back and relax and enjoy, and I could do my work for my land business. I can do it from right there in the in the comfort of the we had a like a bed and breakfast place that we were at, and plenty of room and space, and it was just really leisurely time and an enjoyable time.
Yeah, and during that time, any kind of emergencies, any kind of contractors that stole from you, and any kind of like squatters sitting in your properties? No, right? Because
nothing like that.
Exactly, nothing like that. So first of all, we all know that the more you simplify, the more you can multiply. So the first land flipping is all about multiplication. It's all about simplification in order to multiply, right? It's all about simplification. So the first rule in land is keep it simple. Having said that, at the same time, we are not talking about a deal. We're talking about creating mastery, guys, right? We're talking about Michelle says, hopefully more than your underwear. Well, Sure, but you could be in your underwear. It doesn't really matter because nobody sees you. You don't have to even leave your house for land flipping. Now, you can leave your house. You can work in your local coffee shop, right? You can work on the beach. You can work anywhere and you want to be. But bottom line, if you want to be in your underwear at home, go right ahead. You can do it. You can do that just fine. So with that said, again, the first rule of land flipping is keep it simple. At the same time, what it allows you to do is to actually focus on what matters. And what matters is the multiplication of more deals. Like, so for example, you create your master system once, and then you see those deals rolling in again and again and again and again using the same system that you set up, right? You set up the automation tools once, and then you leverage them again and again and again and again. You set up your system, your tools, and your processes once, and then you leverage them again, and then you come deal after deal after deal after deal come in, falling right into the systems that you've done, which caused Tyson Horn, one of our brand new Hall of Fame members, to say that this is the only business that he knows that the more money you make, the more free time you have, right? Because it frees you up from, because by making more money, you can put in the additional systems in there. Now, again, you want to have systems on the selling side, you want to have systems on the buying side. So let's go through the different kind of systems you want to have. So you want to have a phone system in place, right? Because so that you have a virtual phone system and the phone calls don't come onto your cell phone. You want to have a mailbox in place, right? You want to have perhaps even a virtual mailbox if you want to travel around the world while doing your deals, right? You want to or travel around the US when you want to do your deals. You want to have a system in place for a mailing house that sends the letters out for you, so you don't have to carry out the printer as you travel around the country or around the world. Right? You have to. Excuse me. I turned the air conditioner on. It's getting really cold in this room, so but it's all right. So you want to have you want to have a system that actually a system or company or place or somebody that takes the phone calls for you, right, and sets them up. But then you want them to be set up that all the data and all the calls and all the property information comes into one centrally located system, right? And that system should be accessible from anywhere. It shouldn't be paper files. It shouldn't be on your local Dropbox or on box.com or on whatever these virtual systems are. It should be in a system that is accessible from anywhere in the world that you have access to, right? Then on top of it, and afterwards, you should have the ability to make offers on the fly, right? You should have the ability to have help getting deal analysis and determine the value of these properties. And then on the selling side, you want to know where your deals are coming from, where your buyers are coming from. Is it worth spending all the advertising over here, right? When really the buyers are coming from over here. These are systems that you need to put in place, right? And then, of course, you need to, on top of it, there are the intangible systems of like the follow-up systems that we talked about yesterday, the follow-up systems on the selling side, the follow-up systems on the buying side. And one of the tools that actually assists you in a lot of that is what we call our investment dominator. So the investment dominator is a tool that we have in-house created, and that helps a lot of our people to be successful. And by the way, before we dive in that though, I want to first of all already thank you. Yesterday we had a call to action. We basically said we explained our coaching program. The enrollment is still open, right? You can still actually get $3,000 off if you're enrolling in our coaching program today. Now the $3,000 will go away. This is if you pay in full. Right, the $3,000 will go away if you pay in full. We're still available today if you pay in full. And we also want to already welcome David Schmidt, who actually entered our VIP coaching program. David, congratulations! You'll have a blast. Right. And that's our highest level program. Also, we have Alicia Norton, who joined our coaching program, and Tina Brooks, who also joined our coaching program. Welcome to the three of you. And I know there's several other ones that are coming in. So with that said, the first 3 people are taken. It means the 3 extra 101s with either Aaron Williams or Mike Smyer, or potentially, if I'm available, with myself, have been taken, right? They have been taken. So what's available still right now is still for those who come on board today, you still can get the $3,000 off if you come on board today, and if it's a pay in full. And also, you still get 1 1-on-1 private coaching sessions with either Aaron or Mike Smyer or myself if I'm available. So make sure you go to landcoaching.com and book a call right away, because we only have about 12 spots available this time, right? We only have 12 spots available. 3 spots went right away. I think a couple of spots I already have committed, but I can't give their names yet because they haven't officially signed the documents for it yet. So we only have about 7 spots left right now, and this all ends tomorrow. These videos are all coming down by the end of tomorrow, and then we're going to prepare the next group for a launch, probably the following week, I think next week, and we're going to go full out. Now, what is coaching? Coaching is one-on-one coaching with our master coaches like Warren Davis. Coaching is, Warren, by the way, how many deals a year do you do?
We're doing average around 35 to 40 deals a year. We're trying to kick that up to about 50 deals this year.
All right, wonderful. And you quit your job because of this, right?
Absolutely. I was in corporate America for like 37 years, and really I was feeling like I was stuck in my current job. I wasn't enjoying it, and basically in 2019, August 26th was my very last day in corporate America, and it's because of the seller financing deals was able to replace my income and basically allow me to walk away from that job and not lose a beat in terms of finances. Actually, my finances have increased since I left my corporate job.
Of course, because at that point of time, your corporate job is actually costing you money, right?
Absolutely.
It's actually costing you money because you're working for the man, you're working for this paycheck. But if in that spare time you can replace your job, imagine how much more you can do if you have all day to work on your business, right? Or even if it's only half a day, as we heard our Aaron yesterday, he spends like about 10 to 15 hours a week doing 50 deals with an average income of $15,000 to $30,000 a pop. So so this is exciting. So it includes one-on-one coaching. We have 7 group coaching sessions every single week, right? About buying properties, about selling properties, or scaling your business. Q&A sessions, mastery sessions, technology sessions. One of which you actually lead the technology session. You have been leading for quite a while, right? And but what this really means is that anytime one of our students, you guys listening to this, have a question, you just plug into one of these sessions, ask your question, but it doesn't end there. We also started with a 6-week quick start intensive program that's led up by one of our top coaches, and you go that really ramps you up very quickly to getting your letters out, to getting offers out, to selecting your counties, getting offers out, selecting your counties, getting letters out, getting offers out, getting deals under contract, and selling deals. And then in addition to that, we also pair you up, which is really killer, with your own accountability partner, your own accountability coach, who checks in with you, right? Who you can send messages to, who gets the message, the questions answered, who's kind of your go-to person over the course of the year with questions you have, and it helps you coordinate what you need, when you need, who you need to talk to, and is really there for you. So this is really this is an unheard of kind of program. There's a coaching modules and all those things available. So with that said, it is all laid out to mastery, because what is laid out in 3 parts over 4 quarters. First part is getting you to your first deal. Second part, ramping up that deal flow and getting you to many more deals. And the third part is now implementing all those systems that we're about to talk about right now, and that we already have talked about, and really mastering those systems so that you can take the deal flow and you can take it to 40, 50, 60, 100 deals a year while only working part-time in your business. Who wants to work part-time and do 100 deals? Give me a heck yes right now. So with that said, let's get started with the demonstration, Warren. And why don't you start sharing your screen, and let's go into the investment dominator for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna just give me a heck yes right now, guys. If you wanna know more about this, if you want to see, this is just one of the many tools that you want to use to get to build your systems to mastery. Now, let me be very, very clear. Just having the software is not going to solve your problems, right? Because just having the software is like having, a Ferrari in the garage and not knowing how to drive, right? Is about having the world's most amazing puzzle and not knowing how to put it together, right? You still need the mastery. You still need the guidance. You still need the the leadership and the accountability, the teaching and the training in order to use the tools in the best possible way and build up your mastery, Instead, you're just going to be hustling. You're just going to go wing it from deal after deal after deal. And while that is a way to live, it is not the best way to live. You don't want to just hustle. You want to have a business where you can wake up at 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, or work out, get up at 5 in the morning and spend the first 5 hours of your day with your family, working out, reading, enjoying life. And then you do a couple of hours of work, and then you pick up your family again, or you pick up your kids from school, and you just have that life of abundance. Who wants that? Who wants a life of abundance? Right, and that's what Warren is living right now. Right. So with that said, let's go, Warren. So first of all, what we see right now. Tell us what we see right now here.
That's basically your prospect stage of all of your records you've imported into Investment Dominator. First of all, with the help of when we went through the coaching program, our coach helped us, select the right county so we could then bring the prospects into Investment Dominator, and that's what you're looking at here. First stage, where we're going to send out our letters to our customers saying, hey, we're interested in purchasing your land.
Right. So what I really want to show here, guys, is something, and I if you're watching this on the phone, it's going to be a little small, but if you're watching it on the laptop, you can actually click on something on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, somewhere that it maximizes the screen here. But as you do that, you can see on the top the screen bar has a whole bunch of different names on it, right? And it starts from all in process to prospect to skip trace to offer requests to offers made to buying, selling, marketing, sold, on hold, all closed, and so on and so forth. So really, what this is think about your deals in the following way. Think about a deal. If this piece of paper is a deal, think about how this deal moves through the process of the deal. It comes in, first of all, it comes in, if this is a property, let's say, if this is a property, or let's use this sticky over here. So I don't occupy the entire screen. If this sticky is a deal, this sticky goes at the beginning, it just is a record that you load into the system. Then as you send out the letters, you want to mark it as, oh, I sent out the letters. Then as the phone call comes in and people want an offer request, it moves into a different stage, right? And then as you made the offer request, it moves again into a different stage. Once it's accepted, it again moves into a different stage because now I got a deal under contract. And then and as this moves through the system, different functionality opens up and different things you can do different things with that. And that's the first highest level on here that I want to show you, that we want to show you, that has those different kind of pieces up on the very top, right? So Warren, go ahead.
Okay, then basically when I, in prospect status, when I get ready to mail out my letters, I use a company, called ITI or letterprinting.net, and I do mass mailings, right? So mail at least 500 to 700 letters a week. And I just simply have to come up here in the campaigns area. And the beautiful thing with Investment Dominator, it automatically takes all of those records that were in prospect status, all my prospect status records. It brings them all into a CSV file or an Excel file that I can now send to the mailing company that's going to put all of my letters together, do the mail merge, and send out all of my neutral letters. It automatically, just by one click, I've got all of my prospect letters ready to send out. So I will send them out. This file, along with already Investment Dominator has given me my neutral letter template, which is the letter template that they're going to use to do my mail merge, and my envelope template. So all I do is send them these three pieces of information with my order, the CSV file, neutral letter template, and an envelope template, all in Investment Dominator. I can send them that information and my letters go out within the next 3 or 4 business days.
Right, and then the other beautiful part about it is that within the next few weeks, we're actually even rolling out a direct integration to the mailing house, so you don't even have to export that anymore and send it over to them. You can literally go right from the system and go into the mailing house and send it out from there. How cool is that? That is really This is really amazing. So, and here's David is saying like this is what turned his business from a hobby into a business. So wonderful. Yes. Okay. So what is the next thing we wanted to show, Warren?
Okay. Well, once you get to the point where you've sent your letters out and the people respond to your neutral letter, say, yeah, I want an offer on my property. Now you have to determine the market value and you want to calculate an offer for that property. So then it's going to move, as Jack was saying, you have these are the stages. It moves to another stage called offer request. Now, and this is where, for me, the time I had with my coach made all the difference in the world, because now I'm trying to determine, okay, well, what am I going to send? What kind of offer am I going to send to somebody that wants an offer on their property? And though I could come up with a lot of different information, a lot of different comps, having the knowledge of how to decipher that information and put it in an actual offer was invaluable to me. And that's where my coach came into play. But you could take a record right here, one of these records in the investment dominator, and it goes into pending preliminary research, which means I'm going to determine my market value. And investment dominator, with one click, takes me into my market research area. Now, this is where I can go in and actually determine, using the different market research tools. I want to go to Zillow and I want to see comparables for my 0.28 acre parcel here. All I do is select Zillow.com, and Investment Dominator takes me right into Zillow and brings up all of these different comparables in the area based on zip code. It puts me right in that area. So now all I have to do is go down and I can start pulling my comparables for land that has sold within 12 months in that particular area and help me determine, okay, what's going to be the value of this property.
Now, how cool is that, guys? If I quickly jump in, guys. Now, imagine, everyone is always like asking, how do I find out the value? Well, guess what? When you're properly trained in the system, right? And our coaches are all trained. They're all using the system. They're all working with you, training you on that. Plus, as part of the coaching program, you get to be part of a 2.5-day intensive training program for the system alone, right? That's part of the coaching. So I'll maximize the training. You literally get to learn exactly how to do that. How to do that. And now, how hard is it to find your comparable if you have that thing with one mouse click, that thing in front of you?
Fantastic. It's much easier to decipher or determine what am I going to charge, or what kind of offer am I going to put out for this particular piece of property.
Right. And I'm not Thurston saying like this is exactly what I needed to have the investment dominator and being stuck. Yes, because here's the thing, guys. Just having a system is not going to solve your problems. You got to be mastering the system. You need the advice, the coaching, the accountability, the guidance on how to use the systems in the optimal way. Like, everyone has Microsoft Word on their computer, or Microsoft Excel, or whatever the equivalent of Apple is. But most people only know how to use 1% of it, which is opening up and putting a few things there. That's not how to master a system. In order to master a system, you need guidance for it. You need immersion in it. Right? You need a step-by-step showing over multiple days and how to do that. Right? So. That's a really cool tool. So great. So now, have you seen how quickly that went? You just highlighted the session. You went over there. You went to market analysis. You went up there. You identify which is the most. We're accelerating a little bit. You look into those a little bit closer. You see which is the most comparable properties. What have they sold for? You got your value, right? And now you go back to the investment dominator and you just fill in that value. So in this case, that value that you established there is, I think, in this case was $52,000, which is just fine. So you came up with that value, $52,000. Now the next thing is, how do we make the offer now?
Okay. Once you have actually determined, like you've looked at some of your comps, you've written some of them down, let's say, or they're right there at your fingertips. Now you want to actually determine, if you say your market value is $52,000, I'm going to use I'm going to calculate my offer using my offer calculator. Investment Dominator comes in and tells you, hey, minimum offer that you might charge would be 25%, or you might give would be 25% up to 34%. So it automatically gives you this range of where your offer should be set.
Right. And now, why does it give you a range? Because it gives you a range because we don't know all the details. The system doesn't know all the details about the property. Like perhaps you have to talk to the seller. Like perhaps the seller has given you an indication that you're willing to take a lower price. Right? Perhaps you are aware of a couple of problems with the property. Perhaps there's not. Perhaps the seller. So you now at this point you use your own intuition. Use your own knowledge about the property to choose where you want to be in that range, right? Whether you want to be at the top of the range or in the bottom of the range, or you want to be above, very much above that. So, and then what you ultimately do is you put in your custom offer. You say, here's what I ultimately decide I want to do. If you decide to go for the full market, but if you want to go to the bottom, let's say you put in 13,000 or 14,756. Right. And what you also know at this price is actually that this is actually going to help you when you now work on the follow-up systems, right? Which our coaches will teach you how to do, right? When you're a coaching program, it's like we went in at 14,756, which means that anytime you want to know how much more buffer to go up do I have, you can just pull this back up and it still will give you that range. So if the seller now calls in and says like, hey, I really want $17,000 for the deal, you pull this up and it's like, oh, 17 is still within the range. Great, let me negotiate a little bit. Perhaps you negotiate them down to $16,000, but you know right there and then that you can go to $16,000 because it allows you to skip the trial and error, right? It allows you to do quantum leaps in income with this system. It allows you to cruise right by the competition. Like we have students that have done like 1 or 2 deals a month, ongoing for years and years and years. That's not bad, right? That's 12 to 24 deals a year, right? About 20 deals a year, let's say. The moment that they add these true automation tools and scalability tools, they went from that to literally 5 times as many deals, because now they had experience already. They already cracked the code. They already gone through our coaching probably before we even had the system, and they were able to get down to the 20 deals. But now with the system, it just explodes their business, right? Just explodes their business. So now,
and so I wanted to add, if I could add something to that, Jack. When we were working with our coach, this using this tool was invaluable, but the main thing was we talked with our coach from one deal to the next, and sometimes our coach would tell us to go higher on an offer because of a specific area that he had some experience with, or that we were having experience, and he had some insight that we didn't have. And so we didn't lose out on deals because we listened to what our coach was sharing with us, and we may have offered more on property than I might have offered on my own. Right. And so we didn't make those kinds of mistakes.
Because Warren, by the way, as almost all of our coaches, they actually a product of our own coaching program. Warren, you went to coach. Tell us the story quickly about how you came to us and what and the story of before you came to us too.
Right. Okay. Well, we tried real estate. We started real estate in flipping houses. We tried to flip houses, and we did that for about almost a year. It was a good 11 months. And we got no deals in flipping houses. We had one opportunity, but it was just so terrible. Our contractor told us he would never touch the deal. Long story made short, we'd gone with a previous outfit before we met Jack in 2017. And we basically were $53,000 in debt from that previous program, where we tried to flip houses, and they gave us basically a bunch of busy work. We were, I was really disappointed. I was feeling, my confidence was very low, and being that much in debt, I hadn't been, 50 grand in debt in forever. So it was a terrible place to be. And so I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get out of this hole? Well, we met Jack in 2017. Long story made short, we got into the coaching program, and I'm telling you, it was a challenge. We had to trust that Jack's program, what he was sharing, was going to actually work. And so my wife and I talked about it, and we said, okay, we're going to do this one more time. But we were at the stage that if this did not work, if this was not successful, I didn't know really how I was going to recover financially. Mainly, I didn't know how I was going to recover emotionally from another loss. But I want you to know, we got into the program, and everything Jack shared with us regarding, what was going to happen, what possibly could happen, it was just like Jack and Michelle shared with us. and we turned our first deal in 90 days. We got our first deal under contract, being in the coaching program after like about 40, 50 days. And then we actually sold that property in 90 days. And I was so happy that every time I get a deal under contract, every time I get someone that says, I accept your offer, I start dancing wherever I'm at, because
Show us the
we,
happy dance, Warren.
I,
Show us the happy dance.
you want me to do it now?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting to do this, Jack. I don't know if you guys can see me. You can't really see my feet, but I just go every time, no matter where we're at,
Woo-hoo. Loving it. Loving it.
no matter where we're at, if we're at the UPS store and we get an I accept your offer, I do my happy dance, because it was something we were just so dejected and disappointed. But after our first deal, we realized this process actually works. And then we got another deal probably in about another 60 to 90 days, our second deal. And they were, smaller deals, but our first deal we made like $15,370, something like that. And we had made no money in real estate. So to me, this was like, oh my gosh, it was like $1 million, because we actually saw the process work. And being an IT guy, I can appreciate the value and the power of the investment dominator. But as Jack Four stated, it's not just the investment dominator. I had to have knowledge of real estate. I had no background in marketing. I had to learn how to market properties, but that was all shared with me by my coach, and walked me step by step through the deals. And that's actually why I coach today, because I want people to know this works. And if it wasn't a program of integrity, I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be anywhere near it. So that's kind of like my story in a long story. But we were able to pay off not only all of our coaching, but we were able to pay off the back credit card bills that we had within the next year and a half or so. We were able to get out of that debt, and now we can pay cash for things that we used to have to charge and put on a credit card. And it's just been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so wonderful, and that's what gives me the chills down my neck, because that's what we do this for. We love this. We want, like, we are on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires in the next 2 years. Right? We're on a mission to to change the trajectory of more than 1,000 people's lives, but 1,000 of them at the $1 million level. Because what that will do to the families, like if you can build an empire of $1 million or more, right? And some of our students are doing this right now within 1 year already. Now, not everyone, right? Not everyone. Right. Not setting the expectations that you will build $1 million business in a year, but but usually what happens is in the first year you do enough deals to be able to, or often it happens that in the first year you do enough deals to be able to quit whatever you want to quit, right? In the second year you double, triple that, and usually by like year 2 or 3 you're like in whatever you beyond your wildest dreams often, right? Beyond your wildest dreams. So that's the thing. Now, some people are go put the pedal to the metal from day one and do 50, 60, 100 deals in their first year, right? Like we have students in our group right now that do that. But and again, it's about changing the trajectory of people's lives. We want you and your grandchildren one day to turn to you and say like, hey, grandpa or grandma, how come you ever started with this land stuff? Or how come, like, where did it all start? Like, how come we live in this mansion? How come we driving this beautiful car? It's like, where did this all start from? And I want you guys to then smile and think back that, hey, we learned, we listened to this weird guy with a German accent and this beautiful, strong, smart lady and their team, like, of amazing coaches, and we stepped into our power and we moved forward and we says, yes, this is it. I can see this work. I know this works. There's the support behind me. There's the technology behind me. There's the accountability behind me. There's the teaching behind me. I can do that. And because of that, your trajectory of your life just pivoted towards an absolutely abundant future. Who wants that? Who wants to be one of our millionaires? Put it in here, and then also book a call on landcoaching.com and see if coaching or one of our programs is a fit for you, right? So with that said, also, by the way, Michelle just posted, somebody apparently said like, hey, what if I already have one of the entry-level programs? Well, we give you a credit for that. You can upgrade to coaching. You can upgrade to our master's coaching or to our VIP coaching. So again, book a call with landcoaching.com so we can talk to you about that. Now, Warren, I want to now go back over here and share some really cool stuff. And that is, for example, share with us some of our selling websites and buying websites that we have.
Okay. Yeah, we've got two websites that we get with Investment Dominator. Your buying website allows individuals to actually come onto your site and say they can sell their land to you for cash. So this is just one of the different themes that you have that, and all they do is click on this sell your land for cash, and up comes a form for them to fill out and complete. We can even show you how to put a little video on your site so that it explains to them how to put in their information. That's one of the cool things we learned in the coaching program, how you can do that. And with Investment Dominator, we also have our selling site, which allows you to put together listings. See, when I got in this business, I knew nothing about how to market land. But when I go into my selling site, I learned through this business how to actually create a listing using what we call the AIDA concept. And we can get into that, but that's just basically a marketing concept, how to actually put together a listing that attracts attention and creates a real interest and a desire, and then calls a person to action. So we have an example of a listing here with, as you can see, a beautiful picture, and then it goes into the comparables and talks about the seller financing. I mean, it's some really cool features even within this listing. Once you get these pictures, which tell a story, basically walks the individual through a story, houses, and it builds their dream, letting them know, hey, you can buy a piece of property and you can build your dream home if you like, or be close to your favorite place to camp, or wherever you want to enjoy life. So it gives them all the information about the property, and then goes into, there's a map that comes up, and this all is done through Investment Dominator automatically once you put in the correct information in the records.
Right.
Gives them the property details.
And the beautiful part about that is that the actual websites are already built into the system. Now, again, a website on your own is not going to help you if you don't know how to create a proper listing, right? The proper listing we share with you how to create those pictures, how to create the flow, how to think. This is all part of what the coaches tell you. That's all part of the 6-week Quick Start Intensive. That's all part of your ongoing work with the coaches. When we have our 7-day weekly group coaching sessions, there's a couple of sessions a week, or at least one, that is always about getting your listings better, getting your selling better, improving your selling. And by the way, they're all video calls, and they're all being saved, and they're all getting afterwards put in an archive. So when you join coaching, you have access to all that archive too. So you can go and say like, oh, let me look for all the selling calls and binge watch them one after the other, and really massively accelerate your learning process on how to tweak them. Because some of these sessions are custom critique sessions. Like, students bring up their listing, and one of our master coaches goes in and says like, okay, change the headline to this. Reorganize the pictures this way. Like, add a picture. This picture, you can't see anything. Create a picture that's different like that. Change the wording to that. Change the price to this. Change that, and boom. And after that, what regularly happens is properties that were sitting on the market for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks that weren't selling, now boom, go sell. Like Aaron said yesterday, that one of his coaching students, they came, had a bunch of deals and had bought them before they came into coaching, and he wasn't able to sell them. They were just sitting. He entered coaching. Aaron looked at his deals. He made some adjustments to it. Within the next 60 days, 17 deals sold for massive profits. Like, that's the power. So for those who are already doing land deals and you're struggling with selling, coaching is the answer, because our master coaches, they're like, we had our bi-weekly coaches call actually yesterday, and what is the consensus of all the coaches? They're running out of inventory. They're like, we need to go grab more deals. We need to get more deals, which just means more mailings and more things, because the property's flying off the shelves. Now, why? If your properties are not flying off the shelf, if you're doing this already on your own and your properties are not flying off the shelves, you might want to ask yourself the question, why? What are you doing wrong? That's what we do. Now, let's imagine a few of these deals making you an extra, if one, two, a few coaching sessions where you tweak that makes the difference between a property sitting, or let's say 10 of your properties sitting and 10 of your properties selling, making you another $150,000 in profits. Is that worth the investment in a coaching program? 100% yes, right? 100% yes. We actually have students that came to us with exactly that scenario, and again and again and again, we turn it around. We identify what the issue is, and we go in. The issue is not always the listing. Sometimes the issue is that they don't talk to the seller, to the buyers in the proper way. Sometimes the issue is that it's a lack of follow-up. Sometimes the issue is that it's a lack of the structure of the listing. Sometimes it's an issue. There's all these different issues. That's why we have master coaches look at your situation, identify what it is, and help you in that. So if you're ready to move into coaching, if you're ready to get into the fast lane of real estate investing, the fast lane of land flipping, and take advantage of the market that we're in right now, go to landcoaching.com and book yourself a call with our team to make sure and get on board. Because again, we only have, I think, 7 spots available right now before we max out our next group, and then we take you from there. So Warren, anything you want to add to that?
Other than the fact that it was crucial for us to, since we had never sold land before, it was crucial for us to listen to our coach and to get the direction for our coach. And I know on our own, we would have floundered, especially when it came to this marketing part. I had no background in marketing, but our coach showed us how to put our listings together and really be able to sell land, and the different strategies we've learned, being in the coaching program, like sending out neighbor letters. I mean, as an example, it's these different strategies that on my own, I would have never been able to have access to. So it's just been extremely valuable for us.
Absolutely. Okay. So then, I agree. We see that again and again and again. Like again, I mentioned Megan yesterday and her mom, Tina, they were struggling for almost a year on their own. And the moment they got in, within 60 days, they had deals sold, money in the bank. And they're now at multi-$100,000 levels, or well above $150,000 or $200,000, and beyond their multi-year goals. Right, their goal was just to make enough to supplement their income. Now all of a sudden they're pulling in 6 figures a year, and now they're updating their goals. The next goal is probably like $500,000 a year, right? And it's possible, right? Soon enough, she can retire her husband from it. And then and also Megan now came back as a coach into our fold. So that is really exciting. So Warren, so now let's go. Let's go into one other thing that I wanted to share, and that is that we wanted to share, and that is let's talk about follow up.
Okay, follow up task.
How do people follow up in? How can anyone use the system to help them with the actual follow-up? Because follow-up, as you guys know, we've been mentioning that a million times over yesterday and today, is so freaking important.
Yes, absolutely. And we have built in within Investment Dominator, even in our marketing section. Now, I don't know about those of you that are out there. I know myself, I didn't know how to talk to buyers, initially in this business. And within our marketing section, there's actually what we call a new prospect script.
So first of all, let me just quickly throw in, there is not just the land section. By the way, there's also a house section. So for those who flip houses and land, you can use our system. You can get rid of any other system that you've had, and you can use our land profit generator for our investment dominator for both land and houses, right? So and we have actually also coaches that are both flipped houses and flipped land, so they can even assist you in some of the house flipping things. But mainly we're in land flipping. We're only flip land, so we added it in there exactly for those that want to do both. So you don't need this in addition to another system. This is one system encompassing all. But then another part is the marketing section, and the marketing section really has to do with you selling the property. Right? Marketing means selling the property, but also keeping track of what we call the buyer's list. You probably heard me talk about the importance of a buyer's list a million times. The buyer's list is a list of people that come to you and say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about this. I'm interested in this property. Can you give me more information? So as you put your advertising out there, as you put your listings on different websites like Facebook and Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and Zillow and so on, you get a constant stream of people wanting to find out about these properties and potentially buy them. Well, first of all, you don't want to just lose them. Secondly, you don't want to write down the name of a sticky note. You want to have a system and a place to put them in there and know which property they're interested in, and then also be able to actually follow up on them. And then with that, Warren, show us how that works.
Okay. So as you actually stated, you want to be able to talk to your buyers. They want to buy land. There's this new prospect script that Investment Dominator has. And let's just say I wanted to bring in a person, and I'm not going to fill out everything. But if I wanted to speak with a gentleman calls me on the phone and his name is Henry Johnson. Well, I didn't know when I first got in the business, I didn't know all of the questions to ask a potential buyer. And I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up on the deal. So along with our coach giving us all, the guidance to know the questions to ask, there's this new prospect script which is built in, and it just basically takes you through a series of questions. Once you select the actual property that the person is interested in purchasing, you see how Investment Dominator fills it in for you. So while you're on the phone with the prospective buyer, not only do you know all of the correct questions to ask, but you have the detail of that listing right at your fingertips, which all you have to do is say view details, and it's going to bring you right into that listing where you can talk intelligently with your buyer and ask your buyer all the important questions. You go through this entire list, and it doesn't take that long, but the important thing is you have a structured way to talk with your buyers and put down information that they give you. What's important to them? That's, again, building your buyer's list. And then once you save this information here, down at the bottom, I saved it for Henry Johnson, the system has automatically put this into my buyer's list here. It tells me the lead source came from Facebook Marketplace. Henry Johnson gives me all of his pertinent information. But the final, which is the beautiful thing about this, is it created a follow-up task for me. It creates this follow-up task where it says, I want to follow up with this person. They're going to, let's say, go look at the property on Thursday or Friday. I want to set a date that I follow up with them. But Investment Dominator's already created the follow-up task. I come over here and edit this, and you can see it assigns it to me, being the person that took the call. Then the contact, it's already given me Henry Johnson's name here and any pertinent information I need to have from Henry. And all I have to do is come in here and set a reminder task, to follow up. And this is what the Investment Dominator is going to do. Once I update that task, if you can see, whenever I log into Investment Dominator, it says, hey, you've got a buyers, you want to follow up, you want to do a follow-up call with this particular buyer. When I click on this, it takes me right into my task here. It says, okay, well, it's Henry Johnson that I want to follow up with. And I know that it's about the land. And it says here, puts this description in here. Call them and ask them if they were able to visit the land and how they liked it. So Investment Dominator basically helps me structure my follow-up work that I need to make for all the different buyers. And initially you may say, well, I can remember. Well, trust me, when you have a lot of different deals going on with land in different aspects of the LPG process deal flow, you'll need the system to help you remind you, hey, don't forget this buyer, because you want to stay in touch with them. They say the fortune is in the follow-up, and that is a true statement. So that's what Investment Dominator does in terms of setting up a follow-up task for you.
Isn't that beautiful? And there's many other different ways. And one thing that you just jumped over for a second was like that if you set it up right, and again, it's like the thing, like you got to have the training, the accountability, the processes for it. But if you set it up right, you can actually tell where that lead came from, whether it's come from Facebook or Zillow and so on, because the system actually allows you to create tracking links for that and put it out there. Now it's a little bit more advanced kind of stuff, but we have this all built in, right? All built in, the ability to track, the ability to create, to bring them to certain places. Plus the system is actually integrated with over 3,000 different other apps that you can use, other software apps through Zapier.com. So you wanna hook it up to a mailing system so that it adds up to a mailing system, you can do that. You want to hook it up to a text system, they send a text blast out when you have a new deal, you can do that. You want to hook it up to a voicemail system, you can do that too. It's like the possibilities are unlimited, but you got to know how to use it. And again, so this is kind of our demonstration right now, is that again, you have the tool. Having a piece of software is like having, as I said, a Ferrari under lock and key, and you not having a driver's license, not knowing how to drive it, right? So the thing is, you need to have a driving instructor to teach you how to do this. You need to have a guidance on how to use that. Like we have a Porsche Cayenne in the garage, right? And apparently we can program it such that it opens our garage door. Guess what? Nobody showed us how to do that. We have had the car for 3 years. We still can't open the garage door with it, right? We still have the extra garage door opener. So it's the same thing here. Like you're self-sabotaging yourself. You're self-sabotaging if you're not using all the tools to create mastery. And this is just one of them, right? You still want to have the call center call in. You want to, and by the way, the call center can be set up such that they enter all the data directly into the investment dominator, right? The mailing house can be set up that you integrate it directly, right? The websites can, your listings on different places can be set up that they feed right into the system, right? So all of these things can be set up, but how do you know how to do that? You know, this is part of what we teach you in the scaling and automation part of our coaching program, right? This is part of what we teach you in the 2.5-day class that focuses on this. This is part of what we teach you in one of the 7 weekly sessions. This is part of what your master coach can work with you on, really on the automation kind of pieces. This is the thing that allows you to go full in, because you don't want to be. And as a matter of fact, if like we only want people who want to go full in. We don't want half-hearted, distracted people distracted people who are just going to dabble with stuff. If that's who you are, then this is not for you, right? But if you're committed to your own financial success, if you're committed like Warren was when he looked at that, after having been burned at the tune of $53,000, when he looked at that and he says, like, you know what? This is the answer. We are going to trust one more time. We're going to go in full in and make this work. And then everything we told him that would happen happened. Now look at them, quit this job, like living the life abundance life, going and like paying cash for things, giving back as a coach. That's what you want. If that's what you want in your life, then step up, go to landcoaching.com, book a call with their team, and then get going. Now, if there's any other questions that you guys might want to know, let me know. Now, again, Monique asked, how much is the system cost? Again, we have multiple programs, right? We have VIP coaching, we have masters coaching, we have different kind of different kind of settings and different kind of program. So talk to our team, right? There's different price points depending on where you are. If you already have some of our entry-level program, you can actually upgrade to the coaching also, and you get a credit or partial credit for it. And of course, this software is included in the coaching for the full 12 months that you're part of it. So you don't pay a dime for it extra while you're in the program, right? While you're in the program. So I hope that makes sense, and that's obviously a cool thing. I love the emoji, John. I love he's putting like yay the thing here. So that's really cool. So with that said, guys, let me quickly walk through what the coaching includes one more time. Again, coaching is a combination of one-on-one coaching with master coaches like Aaron yesterday, like Warren Davis today, like Mike Smyer, like Christina Walls, right? Like Megan Autry, like Nancy Swore, like Now I'm Jansen Young, Stephen Young, who else? I'm missing a couple, like Courtney Brunson Kaylert, like Lewis Cohn, we got a kick-ass group of master coaches that all do land full time, that all have quit their jobs. They pretty much all came to our coaching program themselves, and you get to work with them one-on-one to also get your business up to the level, to the mastery level, for you to quit what you want to quit, for you to create that high 6- and 7-figure income, and for you to create really your own economy, no matter what the world does. Right? This is a key point. Like, doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter if there's enough vaccines or not. It doesn't. I mean, it matters for other things, but for our own financial well-being, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what China does. It doesn't matter if the company and the city is letting people go or not. I mean, it matters for other kind of reasons, but not for your business. All that matters is that you have the method that takes your life to a different level, that allows you to soar like the eagle that you know you are, like that allows you to soar and live your fullest life. And I know that this is scary. Like, I know we have people you're looking at that and you're like, oh my God, can I do this? And I know that your itty bitty shitty committee, like in your head, what we call the itty bitty shitty committee, is telling you like, oh my God, it's making you sweat and making you stand there. So like, but you know what? In life, the first thing you do is you need to commit. The second that thing after you commit, you need to muster the courage to follow through and take action. And that's the most normal thing in the world. It does require anything in life that's worth doing is worth putting the effort in. Right?
That's
and
right.
Then what happens though is afterwards you build capability, you build capability, you build knowledge, you build confidence, and that's the fourth C. The 4 C's that we talk about. Warren, isn't that how it happened to you? Wasn't it like you were like, okay, this is it? But
yes, it was scary. It was scary to take, even just mailing out letters, and then those first deals where I had the opportunity to get land under contract, but step by step. I mean, the beautiful thing with our coaching program, our coach kept us focused on the right activity to do from one week to the next. If I hadn't had my coach there, I would have floundered a little bit, and I would have been, doing a lot of things, but not really making the focused effort that I needed. And so, yeah, it was a little scary, but I mean, we were at the point where, hey, we were gonna. I mean, this was gonna sink or swim, and we decided we wanted to swim, and we're able to take control of our own financial destiny. When our first 2 deals came through, I knew we could make this happen. And then not only that, but we shared this with our children. And so now we have one of our daughters is actively in the business. So, I mean, for a father to see not only his financial destiny change, but also see my children and their grandchildren being able to change the direction of their life. I mean, words can't even describe what that feels like. It's just such a great feeling every week when I'm looking at my daughter and I talk with her on the phone about her business. It's just amazing. So you guys don't hesitate, go for it.
100%. Also, so book a call at landcoaching.com. Do what Warren did. Change your financial life and allow from there on to see how it changes your financial life and potentially even like with Warren's family, your family financial life. Also, guys, just want to let you know we have another session coming up at noon Pacific time today. So 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time today. Make sure you dial in for that. And then also we have a Zoom. Michelle just reminded me of that. We have a Zoom bonus Q&A call session tomorrow at 9 a.m. This is not going to happen on Facebook. This is going to happen inside of Zoom. So make sure you check your email for the Zoom link or contact your concierge, right? We have David Van, we have Stephanie Seidler, we have Jennifer Clark, we have Michael Robert. We also have Kevin. Kevin, I forgot his last name right now. Come on, Kevin. What's your last name? We have Kevin right now available. We have all these different. We have 5 different concierges that you can send them a direct message, ask them for the link, ask them if this is the right fit, ask them questions, get started with that. But the easiest way is to just book Copeland. There we go. Thank you. For some reason I forgot in a moment. So if you have Kevin Copeland, make sure you connect with our team. You ask them if this is the right fit. Book a call with them. Explore the option. We do have payment plans. If you already have one of our lower priced, our lower entry level programs, then make sure that you let them know so that you can get a credit or partial credit for that. And with that said, guys, this is what we wanted to cover right now. This is, again, the coaching includes one-on-one coaching, group coaching, a 6-week quick start intensive, an accountability partner for you for the entire year. That you can check in, a coaching portal where you exchange messages, right? Where stuff can get, where the videos are being uploaded, where the archives are in, right? Where what else? Coaching modules that you can go through on your own if you want to. Archives of all the group coaching sessions, right? Then we are also in the process of creating some special coaching modules, like for specifically training you even more on communicating with your buyers, on selling quicker, like sales strategies and things like that. We're putting things together for you right now, and that mindset sessions, all of these different things. It's like it's never ending. We literally go 360 support around you, go at you with 7 sessions a week, one-on-one sessions, group sessions, accountability partners. I mean, you name it. We literally laid out the process of coaching from beginning to mastery. It says, where could somebody possibly fail? And at every point where somebody could possibly fail, we put in the intervention, we put in the tools, we put in the system, we put in the accountability to make sure that you can overcome that hurdle. And as a result, like, our success rates are probably 5 to 10 times higher than any other program in the industry. And I'm not kidding. It's absolutely off the charts. If you do what we ask you to do, we will go ballistic on you in the best sense of the world to make sure that you get to the finish line and you get to success. So Warren, with that said,
I just wanted to share one along with what you're saying, Jack. That's something I've heard my coaching students say about the organization, period. They have said, I've had at least 3 of my coaching students take time out to say they never felt alone while they were on this journey in changing their financial destiny. They never felt, because they had all of this support from all of these different areas, and the coaching, the weekly coaching sessions. That's one thing they've said. We never felt alone, and and they've told me that they've never seen a program that was like this, that was structured like this, where they had all of this support and help 24/7 practically, and that's just something that has really resonated with me, because in of course my previous life I felt alone a lot of times, but it's never been like that here.
Right. And now I want to read off what Michelle just said. So many of you are ready to scale and add to 6 or 7 figure income stream to your businesses in the next 12 months. I know you're not getting the support out there with other programs. I know that. I was just at an event where they talked about coaching, and it was a great event and everything, but it's not. I asked people what they offer. I asked people what they do. It's nowhere close to what we offer here. It's nowhere close to what we do. It's like I know you're not getting support with need other courses, coaches, masterminds. When you invest in other places, you literally feel like a credit card, right? You feel like a credit card, and they offer the minimum they can and charge the most. We do the exact opposite. We charge, we offer the most that we can possibly give. Yes, we're not the cheapest in the industry, but we provide 10, 20-fold more value than anyone else in the industry. And more importantly, we get you to the success. We will do it. If any one of our students are struggling, we will hear about it. We will know about it. And we go put a task force in place, an intervention task force, and make sure that that person gets to success. Right, so it's what we're doing. Sometimes it happens that somebody struggles. What? It's life. It's normal, right? And we're like, when our weekly calls, like, this person is struggling, we're like, let's get a few heads together. Let's get on that person, and we'll solve that problem, and we will solve it for you too. That's our problems. That's our promise here. So with that said, guys, if you're in for coaching, put in the words "I'm in." Put in the words like create your own economy. Put in the words, put in the words "I'm in," and schedule a call with Land Coaching or Comment. With that said, Warren, thank you very much so much for being with us. Really loved it.
My pleasure.
We love having you being as part of our team. We love having you being one of our coach. We're so proud of your success in our program. We're so excited about even that that one of your children now is doing the land deal. It's changing their trajectory of their life. It just absolutely makes our day. It puts a big smile on my face, and it's just we just love having you in our organization. So with that said, everyone, thank you very much, guys, and you guys have a great rest of the day. Make sure 12 p.m. Pacific is our next session. And then look out for the Zoom link in your email, or reach out to your concierge for it, or put in the comments below here that you want the Zoom link. And then somebody will reach out to you with that link for tomorrow's Q&A session. With that said, thank you very much.